Here at BGTV, we want to create a healthy and cooperative environment for our workers, and that means ensuring their well-being. What do you say? Hey buddy, you feeling alright? I noticed you've been working a bit slower.
No, I have a really bad fever. I'm really sick right now. Could I get an extension on this?
Yeah, you know what? Just take the day off.
Okay.
We always meet our deadlines. The Sunday New York Times doesn't come out on Monday after all.
Hey, about that Friday deadline, I don't think I can meet that. Could I get an extension, please?
Yeah, that's fine. I can give you a couple more hours. You're fine.
Thank you. I really do appreciate this so much.
You're fired. Clear your desk. You're out by the end of the day.
Yes.
Things like this help keep BGTV a safe and respectable place to be. All you juniors out there waiting to join, you better get ready. Now, let's get on to this week's episode. Are we done?
This week on BGTV.
Kate will inform us about what went on during the school's most recent trip to Europe.
Aspen will give us an inside look into a local business.
And Ben will talk about the astronomical phenomenon that took place Monday afternoon.
Hi, Wizards. I'm Connor.
And I'm Kendall, and this is BGTV.
Kate will be covering the recent trip to the Mediterranean that some of our students had the opportunity to take over spring break.
So I am what they call the tour leader on this trip, and more or less what that means is I'm the guy that communicates with the travel company and decides on where we go and the amount of people we get to, and my job is recruitment and just making sure that the trip goes like it's supposed to go. On this past trip, we went to the Mediterranean coast. So what that means is we did a day in Italy, we moved on to Monaco, then we went to France, and then we went to Spain. All right, so these types of trips are unique in the sense of field trips. So what it allows students to do is, even though they're supervised by plenty of chaperones that both work here at the school or are retired or have other roles, there's a lot of freedom and time for them to explore Europe by themselves or with their friends, more importantly.
Yeah, I mean, the trip was pretty great. We definitely we saw different cultural sites and things you wouldn't normally see on a normal school trip. Because we were on the Mediterranean coast, we got to see so many different countries, which was really cool. We saw La Sagrada Familia, which is really cool because I learned about that last year in Spanish class. So actually seeing it in person was kind of like a full circle moment.
My favorite thing that we did on the trip was in France, go to this small village, St. Paul's. It was very artsy. I really liked it, and it had so many cute little details within the village, and I went with my friends, so it was very fun.
Some of my favorite things that we did on the trip were we went to flamenco. I loved seeing the wonderful artistry of the dancers. We went to the Montserrat and the architecture was just gorgeous. It was up on a giant hill, so you could see everything for miles. And in Nice, there was a farmer's market, and there were incredible fresh strawberries and some croissants. They were absolutely amazing.
Next year we're going to Italy and Greece for I think it's a 10-day trip on this go. And as beautiful as last year's trip, this one is really supposed to be something extra. So we start off in Rome. We tour Rome for a day. We go to Vatican City, St. Peter's Basilica. We head up to Florence, which is a beautiful Italian city. We actually take an overnight ferry down the entire boot of Italy to drop us off in mainland Greece. And then we actually get to explore Greece a little bit. We're taking people up until next Friday. You could sign up for the trip. So yeah, that's next year's trip. Super exciting.
Now for your weekly sports update with Luca.
Hi Wizards, my name is Luca Pavic, and welcome back to Sports with Luca. This week, I'll be highlighting the scores of our spring school sports, and I'll be interviewing one of the players. The boys varsity baseball team lost 5-6 against Middletown. The boys of our lacrosse team won against Newburgh Free Academy 16-10 and also won against Red Hook with a score of 11-7. Good job, boys. The varsity softball team lost 0-12 against Minisink Valley. Good luck on your next game. The boys varsity tennis team won 7-0 against Port Jervis. Good job, boys. Hi, Wizards. I'm here with Paul Carnatone. He is a varsity tennis player, and he's going to talk to us about why varsity sports are important and why you should play varsity sport. So, Paul, why did you decide to play varsity tennis?
Well, I decided to play varsity tennis because throughout my whole entire life, I did theater, and I'm going to college for theater now, so I just really wanted to try something new, and I thought playing a varsity sport would be really fun. And I like tennis. I like watching tennis, so I figured why not try it.
What are some of the benefits, Paul, of doing a varsity sport?
Okay, some of the benefits for me are it's a good way for me to stay in shape, or get in shape, rather, in my case. You learn a lot of discipline. I get to be on a team with a bunch of cool people, and I have a lot of fun. That's the most important part.
Are you planning on continuing your sports career in college?
Maybe like playing club tennis. That would be a lot of fun. Other than that, probably not. I'm just having a lot of fun in my senior year, trying new things and seeing where it takes me. So, also, I'm not good enough to really play like on a D3 team or anything.
Do you think that a high school student should do a varsity or junior varsity sport?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really important, actually. You learn a lot of discipline. It's like you get a community of people. And it really is a lot of fun, and I feel like it's something that everyone should experience just once or twice, even if that, just to know, like, to say you did it once. I think it's fun.
Now for your weekly announcements.
Looking for a job? The job board in the guidance office has been recently updated with some new opportunities for employment. Come and see what's new and exciting.
Physicals will be available for all sports 9th and 11th grade. Come to the health office to see when your physical expires and if you need a new one. First come, first served.
This is your reminder that the BG Boutique is open every Friday during 2nd, 3rd, and 4th lunch.
Students, are you looking to get your working papers? Please visit the high school guidance office page on the district website for further instructions on how to apply for them.
And lastly, a big congratulations to the WHS mock trial team for going to the finals this past Saturday. Washingtonville is home to a plethora of small businesses, and Aspen was fortunate enough to go to Good Vibes Rock and Shop and learn about its origin and purpose.
I never intended on owning a metaphysical shop. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and before that I was in the banking field. So I worked for credit unions for a really long time. I was a supervisor. So it was a totally different thing as far as what I was doing versus what I feel like I should have been doing. So a few years ago I was struggling with a drug addiction. My therapist had asked me if I wanted to think of something different that I could do with my time that maybe would help channel things a little better. The most popular item in the shop are definitely the crystals. I myself was not a crystal guru, but I have definitely learned a lot of crystals and their properties and things of that nature. Okay, so what inspired me to be an actual business owner? felt what the universe wanted me to do. I didn't really have a direction. This was never a goal of mine. And I just followed what felt right, and it led me to here. So some fun things that are coming up, we definitely try to get out to different towns and do different vendor events and stuff like that. So we're actually doing UFO in Pine Bush this year, which is going to be a big thing. We've never done it. I've never been to it. So that's big and exciting. My favorite aspect of running Good Vibes Rock and Shop is the influence that I have on people and the relationships that I can build with people. And it's very rewarding, kind of exposing my whole entire self, and a lot of people are very accepting of it, and I really feel like the community as a whole has really taken me in, and that's what really makes me feel good.
Stay tuned for a quick commercial break.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get in the freezer. It's so hot out.
Hot? Why don't you just go to Weir's?
Go to Weir's?
Want to satisfy that sweet tooth in the warm weather? Scoop your desires away with Weir's Ice Cream, located on 2159 New York 94, Salisbury Mills, New York. Open every day, rain or shine, from noon to 8 p.m.
Hey Kendall, did you have a chance to see the solar eclipse on Monday?
I did. Did you?
I did. Did you know that the next solar eclipse won't take place until 2044?
Really? That's a long time.
Yeah, and this week, Ben will be covering the solar eclipse.
If you were anywhere in the United States on Monday, then you probably witnessed the total solar eclipse. But what exactly is a solar eclipse? Well, I'm here to answer that today. Let's cut to the diagram.
In a solar eclipse, the moon moves between the Earth and the sun, which blocks the sun's light from reaching Earth. So from our perspective on Earth, it looks like the moon is covering the sun, making it appear like a big dark circle in the sky. And that also creates the path of totality, which is a strip along the US where the moon is going to be completely covering the sun, engulfing the Earth in darkness.
Now, Washingtonville is pretty close to the path of totality. We're only about 300 miles or so from Buffalo, which is in upstate New York, and that was completely encompassed in darkness. So from where Washingtonville sits, about 93% of the sun was covered by the moon during the eclipse, which is pretty darn good for not having to move anywhere. But that also leads to images like this coming from little old Washingtonville. But we're talking about the sun here, and the sun kind of covers a lot of land. So if you were in, I don't know, let's say Florida, right? You would still be able to see this much of the eclipse. And that's 1,500 miles away from Washingtonville. So I took a quick little trip down to Florida to ask a local Floridian what their thoughts on the eclipse were. I'll meet you down there. So what made you have an eclipse party? What made you want to have an eclipse party?
Well, this is such a rare event, and I actually live in a suburb of Indianapolis, which is the best viewing in the country besides Niagara Falls, where it ends. But we're not there because we live here 4 or 5 months of the year. So I thought, you know what, we can't be home where everybody's having parties, so we'll just make our own party here.
Do you think there's any significance to the solar eclipse?
Significance? Well, the rarity of the event, and nature has always amazed me. Here we have hurricanes all the time in Florida, and then you see the power of wind and water. even though it's a frightening thing in one aspect, it's also awesome in another. I love it that people are interested in our planet and meteorological things like this. I think it's rare and it's so unique and it's so beautiful that I love it that people are coming out and celebrating this event because it doesn't happen very often. Now, I've heard different stories about how long it will be before there's another one. I've heard 15 years. I don't know if that's accurate. But if it is, I'm not going to be around then. So, you know what? You got to grab it while you can.
And now for this week's installment of Margo Mania.
Hi, welcome back to Margo Mania. I really don't know how to describe this week, so it's just a bunch of silly questions, really. You know what? Come on in. Come in. All right.
Best joke that I have? Oh my god. I don't
You don't have one?
I only do like improvisational jokes. I don't.
You can't think of one that someone's told you so far?
Knock knock. I get like knock knock. I don't.
You don't know? You don't.
It's too many.
If anything, maybe something recent. Not appropriate for school. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
I don't want to like have the. I'm not really funny, so I don't got one.
No. All right.
Actually, I think I wrote this one. It just came to mind. Okay, ready? Does the dollar know it's one? Is that equally bad? And so that if I did a stand-up, that would be my only joke. Right?
What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about learning.
That's a good question. A very good question. Probably like the people I'm here for, maybe. Like my god brother and sister, for example, because they're twins, and they're 4. I love them to death, but they're just too much sometimes.
Say skating and football.
Any elaboration?
I love skating and playing football.
What's a hot take that you have?
I think people should have more patience and diversity when it comes to food. You know, you should be more aware of different places and cultures when you're talking about food and about like, oh, this is garbage. Like, hold on. Have you tried it? It might look ugly, but maybe it tastes really good. You should look into it first. You know, try it once or twice.
If you drive slowly, you should lose your license.
I don't think a lot of people in this school is gonna probably agree with you, man.
Not my problem.
Movies today just really are awful. I barely go to the movies anymore. The Marvel franchise I think is overdone. I find it boring. Star Wars is like okay-ish.
Called a hot take? Like, I firmly believe this. Gosh, I don't know. Can we come back to that?
Man, listen, I love my customers, but most of the ones that get a lot of olives, y'all are nasty. But no offense though, don't get offended. Like, just... And then there's like those people that'll get pickles. I don't mind pickles. Pickles, I don't mind. I can eat them plain, but on a sandwich, I don't know how y'all do it. I can't do it.
I think it's only a hot take because it would be an unpopular thing for English teachers in general to say, but I do think, on occasion, the movie's better than the book. There you go.
You heard it from her, folks. Like a random fact about yourself that other people wouldn't know.
I was born in Florida.
You were born in Florida? Where?
Cape Coral, or Fort Myers. Fort Myers.
Literally no idea where that's located.
Southern part of Florida.
So one of the things that I really love to do is carve pumpkins. I do it as like a hobby, and usually every year for Halloween, I've actually decorated my entire apartment with them.
I eat so many fruits and berries that my pee is green. from the vitamins.
Everyone should aspire to that. I think everyone should aspire.
It's so green.
That's all for this week, Wizards.
Make sure to check out the Wizard Weekly and #Wizard Nation podcast using the link below.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Kendall. See you next week, Wizards.